Hey everyone, welcome back to this, I don't even know what edition this is of Fireside Chat, but we took a break last week. We're glad to be back with you, glad for you to be with us virtually in our home.
Yeah, we're so glad to be back with you. Thank you so much for your patience. It's kind of been off again this summer, and it'll continue to be, I'm sure.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been struggling about what to talk about.
Right.
The original intent behind this was to make it easier for you guys to get to know us because everything was shut down. We were distanced. We're slowly getting back together. This past weekend was our first weekend having live gatherings.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I hope people will continue to register and join us for that. And I mean, clearly it's not everything we want it to be, but we're moving in the right direction.
Right.
So meaningful.
It was so meaningful. It was really cool to be there. It was different. Mm-hmm. I'll admit that I really missed the singing.
Sure. Absolutely.
But I was able to worship in place, and it's actually a really good exercise, I think, to find other ways to worship. In that moment of music, really focus on the words.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, I agree with you. I was surprised at how meaningful it was just to be with other people and listen to the music. But that's not really what we're talking about right now. We're getting back to the real reason that we started doing this fireside chat, which we're not doing the fire because it's too hot.
So we have these sunflowers.
Yeah, I like that. I see what you did
Yeah, I did it.
We don't I'm interested in you.
Oh, I'm interested in you.
And you're interested in me, but we don't particularly
Let's go out.
But we don't find ourselves interesting. Well, we've been struggling to know what do we talk about in this.
Yeah.
So we were given some suggestions, and what we ended up doing was putting a bunch of questions in a bowl, and we decided we'd take turns drawing them out, and we'll each answer our own questions rapid fire.
Nola thinks these are snacks.
These are not treats, no. So do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I don't care. You go first.
Me go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what the first one is. And none of these are going to be meaningful. Oh, zombie COVID apocalypse. 3 people you want on your team. What are the rules on this?
I don't think there are.
I'm going to go old school. Those of you who are my age, maybe a little bit younger, I want Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtles on my team. I want Casey Jones. And I want Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. Am I allowed to admit that I used to watch The Walking Dead?
No, we like that show.
It's a Rick-tatorship. And who's the third person I want? Oh, Chuck Norris. Casey Jones, Chuck Norris, Rick Grimes, and me. We got this covered.
And I guess the only reason I wouldn't be on your team is because I'm already dead. Okay.
I got that one.
My turn.
That one just... That just blew up in my face. I'm so sorry.
Okay, if you could bring back your favorite fashion trend, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay, that's a good one.
I know. You know what? I am a girl from the 90s. Well, you know, the 90s is where I really...
You're not from the 90s.
Not from the 90s, but I did my teenage years in the 90s. And I would have to say I really miss the baggy jeans and like the grunge. Like the baggy flannels that you tie around your waist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Chokers.
Those. Yeah.
It's kind of back.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Right.
You know, Nirvana, stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's mine.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
People are probably just tuning away. They're off to do something else. All right, I got an easy one. Best vacation.
Okay.
Last summer, Heather and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary, and we planned for 10 or 15 years to do this. We went to Scotland. That was amazing. And hands down the best day, we drove from the village of Tongue, which is one of the northernmost villages in the UK, and we drove down across the Highlands into western Scotland, and we went to the Isle of Skye, and I got to spend quite a bit of time at the fairy pools, which was a bucket list item for me. Mm-hmm. One of my dream places to go, and it more than exceeded all of my expectations.
We didn't see any fairies.
We saw no fairies, but I had an amazing time, and I discovered that you can swim in the fairy pools, and you can jump off cliffs into the fairy pools, and you've got some video.
I do.
And we're never going to show that because my shirt's off, and I don't feel quite that secure, right? Right. We don't have that kind of relationship, but of me jumping off like a 20-foot cliff into these pools and swimming underwater arches and stuff.
It was super beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Really beautiful.
All right.
Okay, my turn. 3 people you would want to have dinner with who are living.
Ooh, let me hear it.
First one is Eric Metaxas. Eric Metaxas is an author, just a brilliant mind, and I love the way he writes. I read his book, Martin Luther, last year, and it was lengthy, but it was so good. I love the way his brain thinks. It's super amazing. Number 2 is Brene Brown, because she is the... I don't even know how to describe her. Shame and Vulnerability. We've recommended several of her books. I just really admire her for
You could burn dinner and she'd make you feel good about it.
I know. She's great. And then the third person would be Morgan Freeman. And the only reason would be so that he could read me a book. Like I could just hand him a book and he could read it to me. I just want to sit there and hear his voice reading my books.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Hope it's good.
Oh, what is your karaoke song?
Uh-oh.
Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. Sean James version. If you don't know the Sean James version, you need to YouTube it or go to Spotify. Sean James, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone.
Such a good song.
Do you want me to sing it?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Okay. Okay. Worst church moment ever.
Ooh. Oh,
That's a good
I
one.
hope it's the one that I'm thinking of.
It probably is.
All right.
So some of you have figured out that I sing. And at one of our previous churches, I used to sing pretty often, probably twice a month or more. And I was leading a song, and I'm starting this song. I am singing my heart out because it's a great song. And I can't hear anything in my in-ears monitors, which kind of play the music back to you in your ears. And so I open my eyes and look, and I was singing wholeheartedly into the bottom of the microphone. Very bottom.
Yeah.
So the people in front row are cracking up, and I just did one of these.
That's not the story I was thinking of.
Oh!
I was thinking the story. I was a youth pastor at a church when we first got married.
Oh my goodness.
You're 20 years old. You got into a shouting match with one of the deacons.
I did.
And he's yelling and crying at you, and you're yelling and crying back at him, and you guys have this big, intense moment.
Yeah.
You hugged it out and became great friends.
Actually, we did. We did.
Yeah.
I loved that man to the end of our time there when
Yeah.
we left to do master's work.
That's probably a story for another time.
Definitely.
I'm teasing it. That's not very fair, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay. How are we doing?
Good.
Are you having fun with this?
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun with this too. Yeah. Who's your favorite kid? Come here, Nola. Come here. Oh,
Nola.
Nola's a favorite kid.
Nola's everybody's
I think
favorite kid.
Caroline dropped this in there.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
It was a trick question.
It was a trick question.
But you answered it correctly.
Nola's
So
the
that-
favorite.
Or Rochelle. She gave us Grandboys.
Oh, she did.
Just
Yeah.
saying, that kind
Yeah.
of gives her a little... Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What was the name of your first car? My first car was an 84 Toyota Celica hatchback, and it was gold. And his name was Simon, which was the name of my imaginary first boyfriend, Simon.
Hey, you had an interesting experience in Simon. Why don't you tell the viewers at home about, there's an expression, killing two birds with one stone. You had something kind of like that.
This is not funny. This is a sad story. I was down in downtown Sacramento with 2 of my good friends from the youth group, and we were working on a research project at the university down there. And we were unfamiliar with where we were, and we were trying to get over to the mall, and it was 3 lanes all going one way. I needed to turn left, but I was in the center lane. I went ahead and turned, and I hit 2 guys on one motorcycle.
2 guys.
They flipped
one motorcycle
over my hood and landed on the other side. They survived. They had to go to the hospital, but they survived. Turns out both of these guys had suspended licenses for DUIs, and the cop was uncommonly kind to me,
And
who was
blamed
at
them.
fault. He essentially blamed them, but that was a really scary moment. And poor Simon, and he forever just had 2 shoe marks like this, rubber, in the side of the door.
That's funny.
Ooh,
They're okay. Those guys were okay.
they were fine. Yep,
We can tell that story because they're okay. Hey, there's one question left.
that's for you.
It's mine.
Yeah,
Do we both answer it or is it just me?
we could both answer.
Here's the question. Worst haircut you've had? Whew.
You want me to go first and
How-
think about it?
How vulnerable should I be with the people at home?
100%.
Well, I'm a little embarrassed by this, but I used to have this. Remember, late '90s, early 2000s. It was a different time. It was a different time. I had spiky bangs
Yeah.
and frosted tips.
Frosted tips.
I looked like a reject from NSYNC.
It was that, or the ones where I've
You
seen
thought I looked good, but
split your hair down the middle.
let's don't even go there. Spiky bangs, frosted tips. I'm so I need to spend time with Brene Brown because I feel shame when I look back at those photos.
Wow. No, mine was, we lived in this tiny town and we were pretty poor.
Mm-hmm.
And Friends was really popular, and the hairdo, the Jennifer Aniston hairdo, you know, the girls will know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a flip.
I'm sure the guys know who Jennifer Aniston is.
I go into this place because I heard they do haircuts for $7. And my hair is naturally very curly and really coarse. And I told her what I wanted. She doesn't even get my hair wet. She just tries to cut it dry, like she brushes it. It was a mushroom cut, so it went like this, and then straight down.
You
It was so bad.
volunteered for a haircut that was advertised at $7.
Well, I didn't know.
But we learned.
That's how we learned.
We learned.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a little bit about us. I hope that you enjoyed this. I had fun.
I had fun too.
Okay. Guys, have a great week.
Bye, everyone.